Why am I eating when I'm not hungry?
Yeah, it's called the Finish Your Plate Club.
There is a name for it.
Yeah, a club.
Our earliest memories of comfort are associated with food. You've done well, I deserve an ice cream. Is this emotional eating as well?
For life, you need a toolbox. In your toolbox, you have different tools. Food can be one of them, but we'll add other tools so that when you have challenges, you can pick and choose what's best for you.
Welcome back to part 2 of the Eat, Burn, Sleep podcast. We are now jumping straight into the second part of this episode. If you haven't had a chance to listen to part 1, I invite you to go back and listen to it now. Let's continue the conversation and pick up right where we left off. So for the second part of this podcast, I think we should go deeper into the emotions and the solutions for the emotions that are brought on by emotional eating. So I'll give you one example, which was a gift from my father. So my mom would make me finish my plate. And one day it was summer holidays in Morocco. I'm having a meal with my father and I've completely checked out in my head from the table. I'm somewhere else, but I'm there finishing my plate because my mom says I have to finish. And I remember so clearly, I'm thinking of the beach and my friends and what we're going to do on the program. And my dad interrupts me and looks at me. He goes, "Are you full?" I look at him. I said, "Yes." He said to me, "Why are you eating? You don't have to finish." I was 15 years old. And it's like a little light bulb went in my head. And I thought, oh my God, why am I eating when I'm not hungry? Because I've been told.
Yeah, it's called the Finish Your Plate Club.
There is a name for it.
Yeah, a club.
Oh my God, yes. So he freed me from that.
Yeah.
So we've been told to not listen to our body.
And you're lucky that you got this message. I mean, at 15, I would say it's quite early. Some people never get or don't get it. And at like 40, they have to work on it themselves.
So I have so many members on the platform who talk about the fact that when they're stressed, they eat or they suffer from emotional eating. And I've spoken about it like from an emotional standpoint of when it starts, and correct me if I'm wrong. You know, thinking back of childhood, I was like, when a baby cries, you're in distress. When you're a baby, whatever it is, maybe the nappy needs changing, or you feel that you're on your own, or there are like scary things that happen in your head, or there's been a noise, or maybe you're overtired. Your mom will pick you up and put you against her breast to soothe you emotionally, and that will generally be accompanied by food, either in a bottle or through the breast. So our earliest memories of comfort are associated with food.
Yes, definitely. And it goes back to our biology wants us to eat more. Breast milk is high in fat and sugar. So our first food was high in fat and sugar, so that's what we crave. Different people will discover emotional eating at different ages. Some people, for example, they had like difficult situations at home, maybe the parents divorced, or bullying at school. Some people, it's their parents always want to feed them to shut their emotions. So maybe if you're listening and you want to understand when did I discover emotional eating, maybe you can think, was there a moment in my life where I gained a lot of weight suddenly? And think of like 5 years before that, what was happening. So around that, so plus or minus 5 years, it's not an exact science. But were there things happening before in my life? And then you will start to understand how you learned this coping mechanism. And the whole idea, and we can talk about it, is how to find other coping mechanism. Because life, let's say for life, you need a toolbox. In your toolbox, you have different tools. Food can be one of them if you really want to keep it. But we'll add other tools so that when you have challenges, you can pick and choose what's best for you.
Before we dive into the tools, I've noticed something which is not something I suffer from, because my parents have never done this with food. I've noticed that some people reward themselves with food. You've done well, or I've done so well, I deserve an ice cream. Is this emotional eating as well?
Yes, that's definitely emotional eating. Again, if you want to keep it and it serves your life, we're not here to say no, 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 it's bad, or if you do it very rarely. But yes, there's a lot of people, and I had one client. Her mom, every time she would clean the house, she would give her a biscuit. She was like, you're allowed, clean the dishes and everything, then you'll be rewarded with a biscuit. And now what she does as an adult, she's like, okay, in order, if I really want to eat something, I better, work hard, finish my to-do list or something, and then she eats. Why is it emotional eating? Because going back to the definition, if the signal is not from the stomach, then it's not a physical hunger.
So what are the different tools for people who suffer from emotional eating, whether they're men or women, knowing that more women, from your experience, suffer from it, and whether this comes from shame or guilt, reward, whatever the reason, what are the different tools our listeners can implement to reduce the occurrence of eating emotionally?
So I think the first and the most important thing is awareness and understanding. Why do we do this? I'll give you a small exercise. You finish a meeting, or let's say you find yourself going to the fridge. Ask yourself, am I hungry in my stomach, yes or no? If I'm not hungry in my stomach and it's coming from the mouth, the signal is here, ask yourself, what am I feeling? Sometimes, and very often, it's hard to know what we're feeling. So what you can do, you Google the wheel of emotion. It's part of my journal, but you can find on Google wheel of emotions. And you find a list of all emotions you can feel. Very often, you'll be drawn to one, and then you'll understand. So the emotion you're feeling maybe is, I feel anxious. So then you can either ask yourself, what can I do to relieve this anxiety? Can I journal? Can I do other things? And here I will give you the list of all the things you can do. And you can pick and choose based on your personality, on your personal preferences. Someone that feels maybe anxious, a solution for them could be journaling, could be breathing, could be meditating, could be even calling a friend. So for people that are extroverts, or verbal processors, they need to talk it out to just feel better. So you can do those things. Maybe someone who feels tired. Very often we eat when we're tired, and it could be an emotion towards being tired. We don't like to be tired, so just we eat to have energy. Maybe for you the solution is just sleeping.
That's me.
Yeah.
I fall in that category.
Yeah, because you can ask yourself, what message did I get in my life about being tired? Or why don't I let myself be tired and sleep? What's important to know is that there's two types of fatigue. There's the physical fatigue, where you need to sleep, and there's the emotional fatigue. Emotional fatigue is your body's not tired, your brain, like you've done too much. A walk in the park can help. So sleeping might help, but not as much as, almost like clearing your mind. And the way I see it is like my brain is like, there's so much, I'm just giving it back to nature, and emptying my brain. So as I said, you can do meditation, walk in the park. Journaling is really, really, really useful because you put all the stress in a paper. It's not in your body anymore. But I have a lot of people that don't like those things. Like, Marilyn, I don't like yoga. I don't like meditating. It's so annoying. I think even more. For those people, maybe they can do drawing or coloring. I don't really like it, but some people love it. Dancing. They say that our stress, we store it in the hips. So doing a bit of salsa can help. So just try to discover things. You can put on your phone things that I've mentioned that you like. Importantly, you need to choose things that, one, will really bring joy. Not forced joy, like genuine joy, because if you have two choices, a food that will bring genuine joy versus going to the gym that actually you think will bring joy, you will choose the easiest option. So find something like that, and find things that you can do quickly. So something that you can do straight away that can go in competition with the food. So you're not going to do something that you have to take the car and leave the house. I mentioned salsa and all those things. Those things that take more time, you can do them throughout the week so that your general well-being is better, and then your craving over time decrease. But then when you're in the moment and you're like triggered by something, have a look at your phone and things that you can do straight away.
That's a great idea. So I definitely suffer from I'm exhausted, and my body mistakes the need to sleep with hunger.
Physical fatigue causes extra hunger hormonally. Yeah,
absolutely. And what I tend to do, my coping mechanism, is to get myself out of the kitchen, and to push myself in my bathroom. To run a bath, do a face mask, and do a beauty routine. And I'm like, but it takes a lot of willpower, but it only takes a split second. So it's just a little moment of trying to step back.
It takes a lot of willpower. That's my assumption. You tell me if it's correct for you. It's because, let's say you're a cup of Wellbeing, it dropped a bit too low. So you caught the moment a bit too late. So if you catch the moment a bit earlier, maybe it's going to take a bit less willpower.
I have noticed this pattern of being tired, and I have analyzed it because I'm someone who pushes, like to push, do more. And like you, I'm very sensitive to noise, and I get overstimulated with noise stimuli, particularly if they're 3 or 4 layered. For example, if I'm in a restaurant and I'm talking to someone who's quite loud already, and then the person at the table is super loud, so I'm listening to them.
And then music.
And then there is music, and then the waiters are banging the forks on the table. I hear all of it in volume 10. If I haven't slept well, this will exhaust me more emotionally, and my senses will be more badly stimulated from it. So I have learned to recognize when I might be pushing, and to push myself to bed early one night. And I'm like, okay, and I'll tell my partner, I'm out. Time out. I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock with a book, because this is what I need to function well tomorrow. And it's whenever I push too much that I get to that place. And also, because sugar and carbohydrates are the release insulin, which is the precursor to serotonin, which is the precursor itself to melatonin. This is why when people have sugar cravings in the evening, it might be a sign that their body just wants to sleep. And it's trying to get sugar to release more melatonin to get you to go to bed. So it's important to listen also to what the body is asking for.
And what I want to add is that there's a few people, when they eat, they're not even themselves. They tell me, I'm hijacked by someone else, I'm possessed, it's not even me. So they're completely out of it. So what you're talking about when, we want to eat a bit of sugar to feel a bit better, there is a bit of self-awareness, but there's some people where they've gone too far, and their cup of Wellbeing is so low. They say to me, I don't even taste the food. I just eat. And then I come back to my body. So again, for those people, just self-awareness. You talk about it. It's so important to be aware of, how tired we are, what stresses us, even the food, as you say, that don't go well with us. It's a life journey. Every day you can discover something new about yourself, but it's important.
But in those moments where because basically it's cortisol being super high, you can drop it instantly. There are different breathing exercises. Either you breathe in for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds for 2 minutes, or you do box breathing. Breathe in for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, release for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4. And again.
Oh yeah, like the window one.
Yeah, and that drops cortisol and maybe helps these people who are having almost an out-of-body experience come back.
I'm going to use this. It's really, really useful, because very often people ask me this question. For how long would you do it?
I do it for even a minute and I'm back. Whenever cortisol is high. And I've given this tool to my children. Because one of my children used to get a lot of anxiety around exams. And I don't know, I've given him different tools. We did some homeopathy, we did different things, and the anxiety is gone. And one of the things was this breathing. But also one thing I would like to point out to people, is the way we live our lives today increases our cortisol levels so much more than 10 years ago. And one of the main things that does that is looking at screens. Because when we look at something close versus something far, we tend to have higher cortisol levels. So just putting our phones away and looking really far at the top of trees or cloud or window in a building and doing a little breathing exercise can help us on a daily basis to come back into our body and have more mindfulness, whatever it is we're doing.
Yeah, definitely. It makes me think of, even if you live next to the sea, listening to the waves, even listening to the tree, if you're not in the sea, just listening to, those things that bring us back to nature and what we're supposed to be.
Earthing. It's a form of earthing.
Yeah.
So you have this little journal that people use to help with emotional eating. Can you explain to us how it works and how your clients use it?
Yes. So the journal is, there's nothing about food. Because my theory is that a lot of people I work with, they know what to eat and not to eat, but for some reason they cannot do it. And if I ask people to journal what they've eaten, it's going to trigger them even more. So there's nothing about food. It's about emotions. There's one question of understanding how much you ate outside of your physical hunger. And then the rest is about emotions. So I have tools inside, which is the wheel of emotions, things you can do if you've eaten emotionally, etc. And every day, it's just one simple page to understand why you ate. And it's divided in 6 cycles of 2 weeks. So it's almost 3 months. Every cycle, so you can do it in 2 weeks. So it's very achievable. And every cycle you can have a small goal. So the goal can be, I want to understand how my new job is affecting my emotional eating. And then every day you journal, understand at night, and then slowly you're going to understand what triggers you and makes you eat, and you're going to find tools. So this is how it works. So a lot of people, when they come and they have no idea what they're eating, they have an idea why they're eating, but not sure. That's how they use the journal.
But this is amazing. I think people can use it even for... Because, I know people who come home and will pour a glass of wine to relax.
Yes.
And it's very similar in the essence.
Yes.
It's a way of coping with the emotion with a substance.
Yes, because if we go back to the toolbox, in their toolbox, so some people have food, some people have wine, some people have over-exercising, some people have workaholism, all those things. And then you have, if you add the healthy ones, which is, as you say, like meditating, taking a break and journaling. So it's all about diluting those unhealthy tools with new ones.
I definitely had workaholism.
Yeah.
I did that after I got divorced.
Yeah.
It was my coping mechanism was to work to create safety around me.
Yeah.
And it took me years.
Yeah.
I remember when I built Eat, Burn, Sleep, I was working every day, and just the thought of taking a day off, I couldn't deal with the thought of that.
Sometimes it scares me as well. I never identified myself as a workaholic, but sometimes if I really, really think deep down and I'm honest with myself, I'm just, am I? Maybe I am, yeah.
But I overcame it with small steps.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, half a day.
Oh, nice.
And letting it sit and letting go of the guilt of not working. Then
how do you
2
let
days,
go of the guilt? That's the hardest part.
Just, I guess it's because the more I took time off, the more it became normal, the more the guilt went. But I didn't force myself to take a whole week. I would do things with my children, let's say turn off my phone during daytime, during holidays with the kids, but I would still work after they went to bed or before they woke up.
Yeah.
What I have found is I have changed my habits around work the way I ask people to change their habits around food.
Oh, yeah.
If people find it overwhelming, I tell them just start with one meal. Just change your breakfast. And then it becomes second nature. Then change. Like small gains. And I managed to now work in a healthy, balanced manner.
Yeah, it's as if the way I'm thinking is that you take half a day off, and then you give a message to your body, it's all safe, it's fine, nothing happened, nothing bad happened. So now that for half a day nothing bad happened, let me try a bit more.
Yeah. That's exactly how I
Yeah.
did. And then before I knew it, I was able to take weekends. I was like, wow, I haven't
Yeah.
worked this weekend.
Yeah.
Or I've been away and I left my laptop at home. Wow.
Yeah.
And slowly I managed to do it and get used to it. So I think it's a question of humans are creature of habits. So it's stepping out of the habits gently without the brain
Yes.
noticing it too
Yeah.
much.
Yes, and making the habit making the change a positive one. So, for example, kids, let's say they want to take a new, they want to learn a new skill. Let's say swimming. They often say, make sure that when they do this, they end up with a positive experience,
Yeah.
so that they want to come back to it.
So maybe with emotional eating, a small little gain, you feel good about it, and then you're able to use your coping mechanism
Yeah.
a second time because you get like positive feedback
Yes.
almost from yourself.
Yes, definitely. That's what people feel. They often feel really, really guilty when they cannot resist emotional eating. But then this is when the journal comes and the self-compassion and everything.
Yeah.
And every small win, just celebrate it. Sometimes women, we're scared to celebrate. We're like, no, it's fine. I just did one thing. It's fine. But no, we have to celebrate more.
I agree. And treating ourselves like we would treat a
Yeah.
friend,
That's
not
hard,
being
yeah.
too hard.
Yeah,
Marilyn, it's been such a pleasure having you with us.
same.
Thank you so much. For all our listeners, please go and check Marilyn's podcast. It's Emotional Eating with Marilyn and her little journal. Whether you suffer from emotional eating or not, I think we live in a society where we're being pressured to do more and more and more. And we have to bring back the less for balance.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much to all of you for listening to this podcast today. I hope you enjoyed it. It's always such a pleasure to talk about health because it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Looking after our health is a daily thing, just like brushing our teeth. We've got to focus on it, we've got to do it right so we can live better and happier lives. For those of you who are not members of the platform yet, we have a discount code for all our podcast listeners. You can get 15% off the memberships. Just enter the code podcast15 at checkout. And make sure to read all the articles and all the free content we have on eatburnsleep.com to keep you motivated and informed and educated about living an anti-inflammatory lifestyle.